What is going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan and welcome back to another Destiny Weekly Reset Weapon Vendor Recommendations. Finally got that out in one phrase. But anyway, we're going to start off at the Crucible vendor. I've been over to New Monarchy and in my opinion just all the weapons over there are just pretty trashy this week, and they're all bad archetypes, so for me no real good weapons. But for the Crucible Quartermaster, we've actually got two weapons I'm going to recommend. The first one being the Chaotic Neutral machine gun. This thing has a good roll on it. Take a Knee is a very underrated perk. If you shoot them in the chest or the stomach, it'll aim to the head. Like the bullets will go to the head. The amount of aim assist Take a Knee adds to a machine gun is insane. Pick it up, try it out. If you don't believe me, it's absolutely unbelievable. So give it a shot. You've also got Perfect Balance or Rifle Barrel on here as well, and Rangefinder as well for less damage drop off. So all in all, just a phenomenal roll. The next weapon is going to be the Something Wicked Rocket Launcher. This thing has a pretty good Crucible roll. You've got Hard Launch or Soft Launch on there for more velocity. Now the first row perks are pretty trash. You got Vacuum or Danger Close. Probably go with Vacuum for Crucible, just so you can pick heavy ammo up at a larger distance away from it. And you got Quick Draw, Javelin. Obviously Javelin's going to be the better option. And you got Grenades and Horseshoes on there as well for that proximity detonation, which is an absolute beast within the Crucible. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for the Crucible Quartermaster. Let's go move on to Dead Orbit and the Vanguard. So now we're over to Dead Orbit. Got some pretty decent rolls. And the first weapon I'm actually going to recommend is the Auto Rifle. This thing has counterbalance, perfect balance, and high caliber rounds, so you can flinch people more in the Crucible. This thing, pretty much maximum stability, going to be really easy to control. Auto rifles are in a pretty okayish spot right now as well. I've noticed more and more people starting using them, so definitely this thing's going to be pretty decent. For the next weapon, I'm actually going to recommend the Rocket Launcher. This is more of a PvE role if you're more of a PvE player. This thing has cluster bombs, tripod, and field scout. Phenomenal roll, loads of rockets. What else is there to say? So definitely pick that up if you can as well. And I'll move over to the Vanguard Quartermaster now. Some pretty decent weapons over here as well, actually. I'm actually quite surprised. Usually it just brings trash, but this week is actually surprising me. So for the Teacup Tempest, this thing has reactive reload, high caliber rounds, or hand loaded with Outlaw. So reactive reload, if you can get that to proc, it's going to absolutely melt. It's going to be absolutely insane. So definitely this is going to be, a force to be reckoned with in the Crucible, especially in its current state with a special ammo situation. The next weapon I'm actually going to recommend is the Shotgun. This is going to be more of a PvE role. It's got a full auto on here. You've got a choice out of small bore or perfect balance with close hand or personal or life support. Mainly for the full auto, with a rate of fire, this thing's going to absolutely shred in PvE. Artburn as well, it'll obviously melt this week with the specialist modifier being on, and airborne. So if you're looking for a shotgun for heroic strikes this week, this thing may be for you. The next weapon I'm going to recommend is the machine gun. Not quite as good in my opinion as the Crucible Quartermasters, but this is just a tad little bit worse. We've got counterbalance on here, a choice out of braced frame or rifle barrel, with a choice out of spray and play or feeding frenzy. So this thing going to be able to reload really quickly, and can either go for more stability or range. Counterbalance in there as well, so it's going to be very easy to control. But that's pretty much going to do it for the Dead Orbit and Vanguard. Let's move over to the last vendor, which is going to be Future War Cult. So now, last but not least, again we have the Future War Cult. So the first weapon I'm actually going to recommend is going to be the hand cannon. Not the world's best roll on here, but if you don't have a hand cannon with Firefly and you're still after one, this has Firefly in it this week. You've got Firefly, small bore, or a choice out of third eye. You've got high caliber rounds on and a choice of quick draw. So this thing, mainly just for the Firefly. If you still don't have a hand cannon and you want Firefly on one, definitely pick this thing up this week if that's what you're wanting. The next weapon I'm actually going to recommend will be the Scout Rifle. This thing is going to be really good for the Crucible and actually PvE. It's got crowd control on there, sorry about that notification noise. We've got Outlaw, Hammer Forged, high caliber rounds, and full auto. So for me, I'd probably run high caliber rounds, Outlaw, and crowd control on there. Phenomenal Scout Rifle, good impact to rate of fire ratio in my opinion. Definitely a good choice to pick up this week. The last one is going to be the Wormwood. This thing is the bane of my existence in the Crucible right now. It's got reactive reload on there, so it's going to be insane. This is going to be better than the actual Teacup Tempest that I just recommended a sec ago from the Vanguard, as the archetype from Wormwood, already 3 shots with reactive reload. Sorry about that other notification noise there, just turn that off. And we've got fitted stock on here, high caliber rounds as well. Phenomenal roll. Definitely pick this thing up this week, because sidearms, you know, in Crucible right now, they're absolutely amazing. But anyway, that's just my suggestions this week. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel for future Destiny content. Thank you so much for watching, guys. One quick thing before I actually end the video, I just want to go ahead and mention again that I'm actually doing a Q&A this Saturday. If you would like to leave any questions down in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them this Saturday. But thank you so much for all the support, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.